Chapter 27. In the Wee Hours. All afternoon and well into night the shark lay panting for air. Full moon and stars, I went looking for Mars, and I found him asleep in his chair. "I thought you'd be taking a reading. I thought you'd be worried for sure." He opened an eye. "Already took 5. You're welcome to go and take more." So I grabbed up the proper equipment, went outside and shot the North Star. Took a new compass reading, then sat back conceding we hadn't moved very far. 3 sets of 2 bells sounded. Wow, I'd been up half the night. I was tense. I was worried. 'Twas just old 1:30. Still 4 more hours till it's light. I then walked to the pilot house to spend some time with Cole. Shifty-looking character he, but he had a heart of gold. "Captured by a Corsair crew when I was just a tad, so I got folks I never knew." I said, "That's too bad." "Been stranded on an island picked up by Spanish craft. Lost half my nose in mutiny and very nearly gaffed. See this leg? Not much left, but enough to get me by. Hit by grape shot. Right arm, too. Still living, I don't know why." From time to time, he scanned the sea with a glass much like the Cap's. I said, "I gotta run. We'll talk again." Cole just said, "Perhaps." Next, I journeyed to the stern to get a read from Claude. The moon had cast an eerie green, a simply wondrous glass-like scene. I stood marveling at our God. The bloke who tossed the chip out now was not the man I thought. His cap was gone, as was his hair. Of a certain, wasn't Claude. "You have some numbers for me, sir?" "Last 4 hours, I expect." "No, son, already gone. Go see De La Bec." Chapter 28. In the wee hours. I watched a small cloud begin to form until it hid the moon. Pulled off my boots back in my bunk, but knew I'd be up soon. Couldn't sleep, tossing, turning, listening for a sail. Only sounds were sounds of snoring. Heard before, but now deploring. Strained my ears to no avail. No wind in our sail. Mars de la Bec. At 0:30, picked up our numbers. He walked the midnight deck. That man never slumbers. At 60-odd, like he's so very fresh and green. And me, not even yet 15. Woke up to the sound of slapping. Been sleeping like a log. That can only be water lapping. And I heard another welcome sound. Sails a-flapping. Threw my trousers on and laughing rushed out to fog. Chapter 29. 70 cannon, 200 swords. Wind and currents, currents and wind, old Mars was saying, most to himself, while pacing back and forth, with fog to make it worse. Lebecchio's pushed us to the east. Prevailing current, now she agrees. Mistral's blowing to the south, and we're heading north. We're getting close to Italy's coast. Peace is not too far, and it ain't pirates I'm fearing, son, but the rocks out in the water. Shoals and jutties everywhere, stretching out for miles, all the way from Elba to the North Italian Isles. Bring down logbook mark 6-2, that French one, from Marseille. It stretches from the 1st of June, and though 20 years ago or so, should give clues for us today. The sailing master's cabin, as I said, was simply crammed. Log books of every shape and size stacked on shelves, the floor, and wherever could be jammed. Mars, it seemed, had studied all and knew just where to look. Ah, the history, lad, of every ship gets recorded in a book. So it isn't any wonder, lad, I've tried to salvage all from ships that we've put under, and they're here along our walls. So we plotted our position, most true north of Elba, and set a course north by west to end up near Genoa. Tacking along in this thick fog made the voyage less than thrilling. Should be there by tomorrow, the wind, God, and fog be willing. Sail in sight! Starboard side! From the crow's nest sang out Klein, and racing into our cabin came wide-eyed, frightened Lime. The Shark swerved then, hard to port to avoid the massive craft. She must have been 100 foot or more from her blackjack to her aft. "A pirate ship! A pirate ship! A pirate ship!" Lime cried. "Morgan, we almost rammed her in the side!" We all, Joe and Snell and Barnes and I, rushed to the captain's side. There was not a trace of fear. Cap had that calm look in his eye. "Mates, this is why we're here," said Joe. "She's a galleon and a big un. 200-300 men aboard, probably 70 cannon, and at least 200 swords." "To sink her, Cap. I don't know how. Her range is ours and half again." Cap said, "So her weakest point is at her bow. Speed gives us the gain. And with that fog, we'll soon give them pain." The Shark was cutting through that cloud, eerie wake behind, closed in quickly, not a sound, when again she drew in sight. This massive ship, sails running wild, doing 3-4 knots or better, was somewhat like an orphaned child with no one there to tend her. Her decks could now be made out clear, her blackjack up there flying. "Captain, something's mighty queer. Nary a blackguard's trying." "Mighty queer," Uncle Will agreed, and we all continued thinking how to cautiously succeed without the chance of sinking. We studied her from distance then, as she sat encased in cloud. It must have been 20 minutes when Captain exclaimed aloud, "I need a crew to board that ship. Put us all at ease. Snell, take Warren, Chris, and Penn, and Morgan, if you please." A horrible thought swept through my brain. I couldn't shake it from my head. "Cap, what if those on board had plague? What if they're all dead?" Chapter 30, Mulrae. So along the line we tied to the Shark's starboard side and tossed the loose end in the jolly. And while the 5 of us rowed, I thought my mind would explode with the mischief we'd find that galley. But we continued our scheme, tied the rope to a beam, and we 5 scrambled up on the deck, while a few of Shark's men winched that rope back to them, and with it, this hulk of a wreck. While the others explored, I went for a door which I thought just might be sailing masters. I was thinking of logs to take back to Mars, when in fact, I was courting disaster. I, with wide open eyes and completely surprised, saw not at all what 'twas expecting, but reading from Scripture and looking a picture with a flickering candle beside him, an old man sitting there alone in his chair, smoking a pipe, depressed, looking cheerless. We both stared a while, and then, "Yeah, what is it, child? You're looking for someone more fearless. I'm worn out and tired. My youth is expired. My crew, or what's left, did forsake me in this brave old galleon. She once kicked like a stallion, and we're just sitting here, enjoying a wake. Did you come for Mulrae to take me away? Don't look like the death angel I've heard of. Should be an old man with a sword in your hand, but you, you're not a face to be scared of. Just who are you, son? Where are you from? How did you get on my boat? Pour me a rum. Hey, pour yourself one. Oh, I ain't gonna slit your young throat. Ha! There was a day when I'd make you pay for stowing away on my craft. Why, I'd have you up flying from a tall yard hemp line and laugh as you swang fore and aft." I looked at him through. I said, "I'm not scared of you, and I got on your boat just today. I'm part of a crew that hunts men like you, and we do a fine job, I must say." The old salt just roared. "Ha! So you come aboard to claim the reward from Mulrae. Nearly 2,000 gold, more or less, so I'm told. Well, take up your sword. Have your way." Mulrae held up his hand and listened. I saw his face twitch. His eyes glistened. He sat stiff with pride at the commotion topside and said, "My young friend, you'd best hasten." Warren was first to discover the worst. "She's foundering, matey, she's going." Snell fairly screamed, "Cut that line from the beam or the shark will join her at the bottom. Penn, Warren, in the jolly. Where the hell's Morgan? I'll search the stern. Chris, you go aft. Hurry, man. No time for folly. She'll suck us all down to the bottom." Door open. I turned to Mulrae. He was pouring another rum. I said, "Mulrae, please, come with me, come." "What? To sit bound in fetters? Be hanged, my fetters? Not by a long shot, my friend. I've made peace and all that, and enjoyed our short chat, but Mulrae is Mulrae to the end. Here, take my short sword. Could be a reward for the brave lad that put me to rest." I tried to resist, but Mulrae did insist, so the dagger I tucked in my belt. "On table's a logbook as well. I'll do no more writing in hell. Only book I'll be knowing is one Lord will open. Now take it and run. Hear them yell." More frantic then. We heard the call, "Morgan!" "Ah, lad, Morgan, is it? Thank you, young Morg, for the day." He raised his rum just a bit, gave his right palm a flip. Last I saw of Mulrae. That big galleon heaved and breathed her last, and onto her belly she lay. Cap was relieved with the tip of her mast went under the water to stay. Sun peeped through the fog. We saw debris bob to the surface and then drift away. That night I recorded it all in my log. The jolly pirate ship, chase in the fog. But I left out one small thing. Perhaps 'twas the grog. The tear-filled eyes of Mulrae. Chapter 31. Another bright morning at sea. We've reached the Ligurian Sea, the charts and the map says we be. And though Mistrals push windward, we keep looking starboard, expecting to see Italy. Jack in the Crow shouts, "Land ho!" Next breath he shouts, "Oh, no! She's a lighthouse of sorts, and she's miles from a port. Could be some rocks or a shoal." Mars says, "Grab log 6-1. I think that's the one. Ah, yes. Sece della Meloria. Been there for over 4 centuries. And Morg, she saved many a navy. 8 mile or more from Italy's shore, but to man her, you'd have to be crazy." I walked to the rail, felt the spray. We should hit the coastland today. The breeze pushed us windward, but we kept our eyes starboard, expecting to see Italy. Ah, another bright morning at sea. End of Book 2.